Hello, everyone. Oh, everyone's muted. That's why I can't hear everyone.
I just did.
Hi.
Hi. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Okay. I'm
Hello.
trying to figure out why I have so much on this screen.
Yeah, I think it's just set up that everyone's muted as you join, but definitely feel free to unmute if you have questions or whatnot. I'm going to wait to get started a few minutes. So, anyone coming in late, let me get my PowerPoint set up here.
How do I get rid of this stuff? How do I get a full page view?
And we are recording this presentation for anyone that misses it or wants to go back. It's so funny. I made a fake Facebook for this presentation. And so I did this last week and I just tried to log into it. And apparently it was against community standards. Like it realized it was a fake profile. So Facebook took it down. So
Hmm.
I'll have to go off of my real Facebook,
Oh, brother.
but that's okay.
Well, should we be having on our screen CPA, School of Technology, Advanced Tech Talk, Facebook? Because I have a
No.
open up
So
my
I
own
didn't
screen.
send these slides out to you yet. I can send them afterwards if you want to refer back to them. But what I do recommend is if you have more than one device, so if you're on this Zoom on like your phone or tablet and want to have your computer open or vice versa, that way you can kind of walk through some of the stuff
Right.
that I'm talking about while I'm doing it.
Yeah. I have my iPad next to me,
Okay,
but I'm
perfect.
worried about what's on the screen now because it just has a small area of the six of us or eight of us squares. And
Oh, you know what? I need to spotlight. There, now I should be the big,
right.
if you change it to speaker view, you should see my screen bigger.
It is. I can't get speaker view though.
It's good. We see the slide and a small view of you. So speaker view is
Okay,
working. Yeah,
perfect.
it's working.
Then I
Okay.
still have half of my screen with your big advertisement for CPA.
Yeah, that's the speaker view.
I'm just changing it so I can see people. See, if I was real IT savvy, I would have like multiple screens and like, one screen I can see you guys and one screen uh,
Yeah,
the slides, but
I want to turn it on.
I'm working on my laptop here. All right. Let's see. It is 4:03. We will wait until 4:05 to get started. Just a couple minutes if you need to grab a drink or a snack.
So I should have my Facebook up on my iPad.
If you want. So I'm going to kind of talk about what Facebook is and the different things you can do with it. And then I do have a section where we're going to kind of click around and see the different options on Facebook too.
Okay.
I'm staying in the basement because it's so hot out and this is where it's the coolest. All right, about one more minute and we'll get started. And for those of you who just joined, I am recording this meeting. So if anyone wanted to attend but couldn't, they can go back and watch it later. And those who are interested, I can make the slides available to you after the presentation. All right.
Hi,
Oh,
hi, Carolyn. I won't be at the next meeting next month. I just wanted to let you know.
oh, okay. So next month is July 22nd, and it's on digital scrapbooking. And our Cleveland Foundation intern, Zoe, who is on this meeting, will be the one giving that presentation. But we will record it if you miss it and want to go back. It'll be up on our YouTube and all of that. All right.
Great.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started here today. Oh. So thank you all for joining. Today, our Advanced School of Technology Tech Talk, if you will, today is all about Facebook. So those of you who have your cameras on, just by a show of hands, who has Facebook? Okay. And the rest of you who I don't see, whether you do or don't have Facebook, this is what is Facebook and how can I use it and all of that. Jan has her hand up. She has Facebook. All right. So what is Facebook? Did you have a question?
No, I had my hand up. Did you
Oh.
see that? Because I can't see on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So Facebook is the #1 social media networking site. And it has been for quite a while. There are over 2.7 billion monthly active users. So it's a global website that's in every language possible and is widely used. It was founded in 2004 by 5 Harvard College students, including Mark Zuckerberg. But of course, we all know Mark Zuckerberg from the news and from business and all of that. But the other 4 guys really don't get much credit for it. Facebook in itself was originally set up solely for university or college higher ed students. And you had to have a school email address to join. So you had to have a .edu email. So before Facebook, there was a site called MySpace. And I remember back when I was in middle school and high school, MySpace was the big social media networking site, but there was a big focus on music. So when Facebook came onto the scene, they kind of stole the thunder from MySpace and everyone switched over because that's where, the college kids were and then eventually high school. So it was very much geared towards a younger audience. However, as time has evolved and social media has evolved, other social media sites like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all these different sites have come onto the scene. So now the younger crowd is moving away from Facebook a little bit, and we're seeing all ages on Facebook. So, it's no longer people in their 20s and 30s. There's people in their 80s and 90s using Facebook as well, which is good. Facebook is considered one of the big 5 IT companies in the US, along with Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. So when you think about that, it's probably not too surprising that those are the big 5. Facebook uses range from sharing pictures, videos, and news with friends and family to direct instant messaging and video calling. You can send money on Facebook, watch live videos. If anyone follows our plugged in programming site, you see me once a month with Move It Monday live Facebook video, and we also do some trivia. So over the years, Facebook has acquired Instagram, WhatsApp, and other digital platforms. So if you happen to be on Instagram, you will notice in the past couple years, it looks very similar to Facebook. And that's because Facebook owns Instagram. All right. So using Facebook, I just want to make sure, yeah, I didn't skip one. Using Facebook, you can use it on your computer or on your tablet or on your phone. So there's different interfaces, the website version and the app. So on the website, that's facebook.com, it lets you do it all in one place. You can use the messenger, which is your direct messaging, instant messaging, chat feature. You can make a post, you can scroll your news feed, you can watch videos, you can do it all from facebook.com. On a mobile device like your tablet or your iPhone, iPad, smartphone, there's a couple different apps. So just the Facebook app, you can post a picture or a status, you can scroll your news feed, you can watch live videos or videos that have been posted, but you need the Facebook Messenger app. It's a different app. So if you're looking in your app store, you need the Facebook Messenger app for instant or direct messaging, the chat feature, video chatting, calling, etc. So, and let me see if I can see you guys again. So do people have the Facebook Messenger app? Does anyone have that
I
on
do.
there? Okay, Sharon and Beth. Okay, so if you are using Facebook on your smartphone or tablet and you want to use the chat feature, you need the Facebook Messenger app. All right, so here's some Facebook lingo slash jargon for you. So talking about friends, and this is in the frequently asked questions section at the end as well, but what does the term friends really mean? Are they your real life friends? The rough answer is no, not necessarily. So friends could be people you do know, people you may know, people you don't know, and sending versus receiving friend requests. So if you go to someone's profile, for instance, and it says add as friend or add a friend, if you click on that, you're sending a friend request to them. But if you get a notification that Carolyn wants to be your friend, that's a friend request they sent to you. And then there's also a section that says people you may know, which I'll show you that when we actually go into the real time on Facebook. So what is tagging? I'm sure you may have heard of tagging. So with tagging, you use the @ sign, which is if you hit shift on a regular keyboard, shift and the number 2, it becomes that @ circle sign. And by doing that and then typing a friend's name, you can tag them in your post or tag them in a picture. Sometimes it'll have you click on a face in a picture to tag them in a photo. But basically by tagging someone, you're including it then on their wall. So then their friends can also see your post because you tagged them. Hopefully that makes sense. The next one is like. So when you like something, there's different reactions now, which I will try to show you that as well. But on a status, you can like, which is the thumbs up. That's why I put the thumbs up icon there. That was the first reaction on statuses and photos was likes. But now you can actually thumbs down something. You can dislike something. There's the crying face emoji. which means like you're sad. Like I see that a lot of times if someone has a family member that passes away and they post the obituary, people might put the sad face, or there's one with a little emoji with a heart, like you care. You know, like if someone had a bad day, you might say, oh, I care. Like, and it's just a way of kind of reacting to their content. Commenting is pretty straightforward. That's, you know, someone posts a picture or a status, and instead of liking it or disliking it, you're actually writing something to them. But as a comment, anyone can see a comment because it's not a direct message. If you share something, that means, well, there's different options with share as well. You can share in a private message. So I could send you something just to you. I could say, hey, I think you'd really like this, and I direct send it to one person. But if you share it on your wall or in your news feed, then anyone that is your friend can see it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If something is on your news feed and you, like you said, you want to share it, if it's already on your news feed, is it necessary to share it? Because people already see it on there.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So everyone's news feed is different based on their friends and who they follow. So in theory, if you and your husband, for instance, both had Facebook and you had the exact same friends, then your news feed would be very similar and it might not, I guess, be worth sharing. However, how the algorithm with Facebook and any other social media site works is they work behind the scenes to get to know you, and like it, and it's kind of a weird thing, but they do. They try to get to know you because they want to show you content that you would enjoy that would keep you scrolling. So their whole goal is to keep you on Facebook longer.
They sure do.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny, but it's actually kind of cool too. Um, so does that kind of answer your question?
I guess, because I've had a couple people complain and say, didn't you know that if you share it, it's, you know, we already see it. So I don't know why that's happening. And I guess I don't understand that part of the technology.
Yeah. Um,
And I think
so
I'm duplicating it, you know.
yeah, I guess it just depends on like you said, like if a lot of your friends are the same as whoever like posted it originally,
Mm.
then maybe it doesn't make sense to share. But if it's something that someone who, you know, maybe an old friend of yours that most of your connections aren't friends with, then they wouldn't have seen it.
But, okay, but then I would probably hit share and go through Messenger to get to their, uh, what?
Yeah. So sharing through Messenger would just be if you want to send it to one person.
Right,
But if you want it to appear on your wall or on your profile for all of your connections to
okay,
see,
okay.
then you want to share to newsfeed.
All right.
Okay, so speaking, oh, I skipped live. So live is a live video, and we saw this really prominent on the scene during COVID because a lot of the organizations, like churches and synagogues and even funeral homes, because they couldn't have in-person services, looked for live platforms to broadcast their service. So it really kind of gained traction through COVID, but that's a way of like a live service or concert or anything like that. So newsfeed is what I was talking about. So when you first log on to Facebook, you see this long list of posts and pictures and videos, and you could scroll. There's no end to it. There used to be an end way back when I started on Facebook, and I think I got my Facebook when I was a senior in high school, so 2011, so 10 years. No, maybe even earlier. Anyways, I remember scrolling to get all of the new updates, and there was an end. And once you reach the end, you're like, okay. Well, Facebook got smart and said, we don't want people to find an end. We want them to continue scrolling. So now your news feed is never ending. And that's where, people kind of get into, am I spending too much time on Facebook? But I guess that's a self-discipline situation. So the next one I kind of referred to as wall or profile. So that's your individual page. So your name, your picture, and everything you've posted or shared or been tagged in. And we'll see that in a minute. And the last lingo jargon I wanted to briefly mention was pages versus groups. And I'll show you that as well. So a page anymore in this time, it's essential for any business to have a Facebook page. They just kind of assume if you have a store, restaurant, or agency that you have a Facebook. It's almost as essential as a listing in the yellow pages or a Google listing. Like people just assume you have a Facebook. So that's pages. But now groups is people that have some commonality. So when COVID hit, I created CPA's plugged in programming. And if you're a part of that, you'll see there that I funnel all of our virtual programming opportunities through that group. Another one we have, and I'm not sure if Karen's still on, but Karen manages our caregiver group on Facebook, and all of the posts are caregiver related. And there's other groups that I'm a part of, like there's a Lyndhurst group, and there's a Mayfield Heights group, and I went to Mayfield High School, so there's a Mayfield High School alumni group. So anything that you're interested in, there's probably a group that meets those things in common. All right, so let's click around. So this part, if you do have another device that you can bring up Facebook, this may be helpful to you. I'm going to get out of the presentation here, and I'm going to go to Facebook. Can you see this where it says Facebook and has my name and picture and where to type in my password? Or did the screen share stop?
It's real little.
Yeah, it's small right now. Zoe gave a thumbs up, so you can see this?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Facebook. So you do the same on your end. If you're following along, if not, you can just watch. That's okay too. So you go to facebook.com or open your Facebook app. And if you're not already logged in, log in. All right. So I will give this preface that I have a lot going on my Facebook. I manage several pages. I've been on Facebook for over 10 years. I've been managing pages for over 10 years. I have like 1,500 friends. So I realize that my Facebook might look a little different than yours, perhaps. Looks like there's something in the chat. I just want to see. They want you to show the products. Yes, I am getting there. All right, so showing the products. No thanks, we don't want to do that. All right, so to go back to some of the terms and jargon that I gave. So this here where you see like this area with pictures and there's an ad, this is considered the news feed, okay? And this is the situation that I can just scroll for days. Like I can just keep scrolling. And a lot of it, it's all tailored on what I've liked or haven't liked in the past. Not completely, it's not flawless, but these are different friends and groups I'm a part of and things that Facebook thinks I want to see. Okay, so this is where you'll see the people you're connected to. So your friends, this is where their posts will show up. And typically it's recent posts. So you're not necessarily going to see something that someone posted a week ago because it's always adding. Okay, so that's your news feed. This is a good post to go off of here. So this is something I actually posted on our CPA page a little bit ago about the garden walk this weekend. So to give you some idea, here where it says like, if I hover over that, I can pick which reaction. These are the reactions I was talking about. I can like, love. Oh, maybe they got rid of the thumbs down. That's good because that was kind of not the nicest. But you can like, love, care, haha, if something's funny, wow, sad, and angry. I don't see too many people there. I'll blow it up a little bit using the angry face. So I will just go ahead and like it. And then here's the comment section. So maybe I'll say, awesome. I plan to attend because I do plan to attend. And then if I wanted to share this, I'll click share. And you see there's these options, kind of like what I was talking about, share to newsfeed. That means it's going to come up on my profile, but also be added to my friends' news feeds. I can send in Messenger just to 1 or 2 people, share to a group. So if I did that, I could pick all these groups I'm a part of to post it in. Share to a page. If I did that, I could share it to CPA, or these are some other pages that I manage. Share on a friend's profile, so I could post on someone else's profile. This is cute. This is my friend Meredith's kid, so I'll love that. But there really is a lot of opportunity of different reactions and comments if I wanted to. There's these little icons over here. I could insert an emoji, and I'm sure you guys have seen all these different emojis that you can put on stuff. It's really fun. I could attach a picture, but I'm not going to do that. I don't have many pictures on here. A GIF or a sticker. So that's kind of stuff you can do on your news feed. But now I'm going to click on, if you're on your profile, you can click on your name here. And that brings you to your profile. Okay. So when someone who's connected to me types in my name up here on the search bar and hits enter, this is what they see. Okay, so they see the posts that I've put up, pictures, different stuff like this. Like it was Corey's birthday the other day and Corey's mom posted, but she tagged me. So that's why it's on my Facebook page. But so anyone that I'm connected to can see this this stuff on my profile. But now I want to go to, I'm getting hit the home button and now go back to my news feed. If I hit friends over here, okay, friend requests. So the people that are under friend requests are people that have sent me a friend request that I haven't accepted or denied yet. So all of these people want to be my friend, if you will, but I haven't accepted them yet. But then if you scroll down, there's also these people you may know. And I think what gets confusing with a lot of people is there's a lot of people in the people you may know section, and you may actually know some of them, but you're overwhelmed by the amount of people that seem to want to be your friend, and maybe you don't want to be their friend. I know that's a question that some people have. And so in reality, Charlotte Banks, I do actually know her, but she didn't send me a request. Facebook is just assuming because I'm connected to other people that Charlotte is connected to, that perhaps I want to become friends. So if I clicked add a friend, then it would send her a friend request from me. But now there's people like Kara Sylvia Bonner. I don't know who this is. They must have thought I might because we have something in common, whether it's even just living in the same town and being around the same age. But I don't know her, so I'm going to remove her. And it doesn't send the other person a notification that I removed them, but it's just, kind of clearing out the people you may know section.
When they come up, you get many rows of people like that. Is it
Mhm.
necessary that you have to remove them, or will they just go away if you don't bother?
They won't go away. So the order of people may change as far as people you may know, but they won't completely go away. They'll just kind of stay there until you remove them. But I want to go up to this search bar, and I'm going to type community partnership on aging. For me, it just kind of comes up, but if you want to type it and click on it, so when you search something, it'll bring up anything that's related. So I want the first one, which is the page. So this is community partnership on aging, our agency page, which is kind of like a website on Facebook, if you will. So this is our main page where we post status updates, pictures. There's that thing about the garden walk. And you can see here, I liked it and I commented. But this is the page. Now, what's different from a page and a group, and I know this is a lot to absorb, so I can make these slides available in the recording later. But on any business page, you have all these options. About, if we click about, it shows you the address and the hours of the agency, website, our mission statement, that kind of stuff. But that had to have been set up by the business. So as a worker at CPA, I set all this up. But if we go to groups, like I was talking about earlier, the difference between a page and a group. So CPA's plugged in programming and community partnership caregivers are two groups that CPA manages. So we'll go to CPA's plugged in programming. And now this, it gets confusing because this is a group page. So it is its own page, but technically it's a group. So people that are members in this group have the option to post and to comment, and they get notifications. I was doing a Facebook Live trivia here the other day. but members have an opportunity to post in a group, whereas on a page they do not. So that's kind of one big difference with page versus group. Before I continue with the slides, is there anything else someone would like me to show in real time, like on Facebook here?
Oh,
No?
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
On Facebook, sometimes pictures will come up of, 3 years ago, we were doing this or that. And I try to share it, but it won't share. And I just wondered why. Is it because it's probably not my personal picture? It's somebody else's picture?
Yeah, that could be. So there is a section of Facebook, and let me see if I can go back here. It's usually over here, I think. Oh, right here, called Memories.
Uh-huh.
And if you click on Memories, oh, Miss Janetta, if she's on, here's a picture of me and her 4 years ago at South Euclid Rock the Block. But it'll show you what you posted on this day previous years. But if you're seeing that in your news feed, it's probably because someone else shared their memory. So it's not your memory. So depending how they have their settings set up, they may have the share option turned off. And I will get to that in a minute here. Actually, let me go back and kind of just briefly show you some settings. Thought it was, of course, they're not in order, it seems. Somewhere on here, maybe over here. Yeah, okay. So if you click the down arrow on the upper right side of your screen, and I'm working on the web interface, so I'm sorry if you're on mobile because I know things look different.
Yeah.
But it should still say somewhere settings and privacy. And when you do that, there's these options here like settings. Oh, we don't need to see that. Security. But and this could be a whole thing in itself about Facebook security. But basically, you can set up what you see and what sees your stuff. So if you don't want anyone to be able to see what your city is or something like that, then you don't have to show everyone that. And that's something that like is more of a one-on-one basis to get set up, like as far as what your ad preferences are, what kind of things you don't want to see, what kind of things you do want to see, that kind of thing. I'm going to go back to the slides here. Okay, yeah, so this goes right into security. Can you see the slide now? I would just want to make sure.
I can see it.
I can see.
Okay, cool. Because sometimes the screen share randomly stops. So I want to make sure you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so for security, you are in control of what people see, of what you post, and you are in control of what you see from what others post. So, and I know that in itself is kind of confusing, but through the ad preferences and the security settings, you can really alter what you see and what others see from you. So if you only want some of your friends to see a certain post, and maybe not everyone, you can set it up like that. I have something that I just turned it on because someone tagged me in something that I thought was really silly and I didn't want people to see. So I have it set up that if someone tags me, I have to accept it before it's posted on my profile. Um, and this might be stuff that is a little um, beyond what really is necessary for you to use. If you have a relatively small friend list and you're pretty comfortable with the people that are your friends, but I have a lot of acquaintances rather than just close friends on Facebook. Um, so Facebook is encrypted. So I mentioned that you can send and receive money through Facebook, which is a fairly new new part of Facebook. So it is encrypted to one of the highest levels, but still be smart. I'm sure you've heard of people getting hacked on Facebook where a hacker somewhere somehow makes a new profile with their name, with their picture, and starts adding their friends. But you say, wait, I thought we were already friends. Definitely pay attention to that. And if you hear, hey, I think you got hacked, you need to change your password as soon as possible. And just remember to always log out if you're not using your own device. So if you're at the library on a public computer, make sure you log out of all of your accounts before you leave. Especially your email, Facebook, any bank stuff, especially. Although I think most bank sites time out after a certain amount of time, but definitely if it's not your device, don't start saving passwords on a community device. Okay, sharing do's and don'ts. So, things you should share are pictures, videos, and any statuses or updates that you want all of your friends, the people you're connected to potentially see. Now, I say potentially see because depending on how many friends they have, they may not see. I can tell you right now, I have like 1,500 friends. I don't see every post that someone posts. I just don't. And not to mention, I don't sit all day scrolling. But the less friends you have, the more you see their content, if that makes sense. Um, Things you should not share. Don't share identifiable personal information of your own or others. So don't say on your status update, hey everyone, I'm having a 4th of July party at my house, 123 ABC Street. You don't want to put that out there because although it's really mainly only going to be seen by your friends, it still has the potential of getting out further. Okay, you also don't want to share your friends and family's news before they do. So I have seen this. I'm of the age now that my friends are getting married and having kids, and there is nothing worse than seeing someone, even if it's a very happy first time grandparent, post a picture and update of the baby before the parents do. I mean, let people share the news, and once it's out there, you can share from their news. You know, let them share it first. Hate speech or highly controversial information. So, in recent times, especially, we see all sorts of stuff being posted, and even media sites have started to kind of intervene and take down certain posts that they find controversial or whatever. But my personal philosophy is to kind of refrain from that. But of course, everyone has freedom of speech and you can post whatever you want. But just know that there's potential that your entire friends list will see something. And I see that a lot of times with, people having a fight with a friend or in a relationship, and they just air out their dirty laundry, and they don't realize that everyone has the potential of seeing that. So I guess just really think about what you're sharing and if you want everyone to potentially see that. And then don't overshare. I know there's people that just share like um 20 different pictures or something that they see on their news feed all of the time. And I love gummy bears. Like sometimes people don't really want to see all that. So I mean, you have to use your discretion about what's appropriate to share and not share. um Things to remember: social media isn't meant to replace IRL, in real life connections. Continue calling, mailing, emailing, visiting, so on and so forth. Social media is just another way of communicating with friends or family near and far. And have fun with it. It's not meant to stress you out or make you feel bad or jealous. Keep it all in perspective. People typically only post the good, not their daily life struggles. All right, frequently asked questions. The first one is, and we kind of touched on this, who are these people that want to be my friend? Okay, so I told you there's 3 different categories: people you may know, or I'm sorry, people you do know in real life, people you may know, and people you don't know. So generally, people you know that you like, obviously, you probably do want to accept their friend requests, or you do want to send them a friend request. People you may know, as we kind of saw, there's people that come up on there, they're basically suggested friends. So you may know them in real life, you may have something in common with those people, and that's why they're being suggested, but you may not actually know them. So those are kind of people that are just suggested to you, but that doesn't mean that you necessarily need to accept them to be your friend. And in that section, they haven't actually sent you a friend request. So they're not asking to be your friend at this point. Facebook just realizes, based on mutual friends or mutual connections, you may know them and you may want to be friends with them. And then people you don't know. I don't think you should really accept friend requests or send friend requests to people you don't know. However, in these more modern days, people meet on social media, whether it's friendships or relationships. So sometimes people do accept friend requests from people they don't know. But I would kind of steer clear from that and not accept friend requests or send friend requests to people you don't know. So that kind of answers friend requests versus people you may know, and the difference between that. Does anyone have any more questions in regards to friend requests or people you may know?
I have had a couple friend requests come up that I did not click on. And where they came from, I don't know. And they ended up on my feed. And now I'm trying to get rid of them. Now I just found today, in fact, where I can get rid of them. So that's good news. But where they came from, I have no idea.
Yeah, and I've gotten some of those too, like where the names are all weird and they're from some very far away country.
Right.
So I think that's kind of like your modern day spam. They're just adding people, whether it's to mess with you or not. I would just go ahead and delete those friend requests. Don't feel like you're hurting anyone's feelings or rejecting them, when you decline a friend request, they don't get a notification. But so say I asked Beth, for instance, because I can see her picture. If I send Beth a friend request and Beth does not accept my friend request, I won't know that except when I go back to Beth's profile and it'll still have the add a friend option. So it won't say that we're friends. It'll just give an option to send a new friend request. But there's also, and I've had to do this maybe only once or twice ever. There's also an option if someone's harassing you to block them. So regardless if you're friends or not, you can block someone and then they can't see any of your stuff. They can't contact you. But I mean, that's kind of a drastic measure that you shouldn't have to take in theory. All right, the next frequently asked question I have is, why can't I find a post that I saw earlier? So as I mentioned, your newsfeed is an ongoing, ever-changing list of updates and posts. So back when Facebook first was created, there was an end. So basically, the website knew where you had stopped reading your news feed. And so when you logged in, it would only show you up until that point. But now, because Facebook is so big and there's so much, there's advertising and there's your friend posts and pages you follow and so much content to potentially show you, it's ever changing. And so it's hard to find that content again. If you remember who posted it or what it was about, you can try to search it in the little search bar at the top. It's a little white bar with a magnifying glass. So if you know who posted it, you could type in their name and bring up their profile and scroll down and you'll see the post on their profile. Or same thing if it was a business, something like that. I will say ads are a little harder to find, but I mean, typically we're not searching for an ad. You're more so searching for what your grandson posted or your neighbor, the cute picture of your neighbor's kid or something like that. And in general, the more you engage, the more you see. So if you want to see my content, the more you like and comment on my content, the more likely it is that you're going to see my future content. And that's why, like, I manage CPA's Facebook page. That's why I really try to get people to interact and engage, whether they're liking it or sharing or commenting, because I know that the more that they like or comment, the bigger the chance is that they'll see the next post. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And that's why typically when you log on to Facebook, you're seeing content from the people you interact with the most. And of course, tons of other things go into it, like how many posts came in per day. Certain days people post more than other days. So if you post on a Saturday and that's the busiest day, then your post might get lost in the mix and not have as much likes and comments as a post posted on Monday at 2 p.m., for instance. So those are the two main questions that I kept kind of coming back to and being asked. Are there other specific Facebook related questions people have? Maybe. Everyone's muted, so go ahead and unmute if you have a question.
What's the use of what's on your mind section?
Okay, so what's on your mind is literally a prompt to write a status or a post update. So I'm trying to think back in the day, back in the day, meaning like when Facebook was first created, like 10 years ago. It used to be, it would prompt you like, Carolyn is thinking about, and you would write, but like it's just prompting you to create a post basically. And then that post would show up on your profile and on your newsfeed.
Just a way of starting a conversation?
Kind of, but it's like an open-ended conversation because it's potentially seen by everyone you're connected to. So it's not like a one-on-one conversation. Good question. Does anybody else?
Yeah, when I joined several groups, everything from gardening to architecture and stuff like that, I thought in order to see stuff, you had to go on that group. But now I'm finding it's all appearing on my newsfeed. And they're all mixed together. They're, it's not just one category, it's all of them thrown in there. Am I doing this wrong, or am I getting them wrong, or should they be separate, or should they all be like that?
Yeah, so the way groups work. So with a group, when someone posts in a group, you should get a notification. And you know what? That's a term that I forgot to go over. Notifications. So when you're a member of a group, you get notified that so and so posted in the group. And so that notification kind of prompts you to then click on it and go to the group. But you're also potentially going to see the group posts come up in your news feed. But in order to guarantee that you're going to see what's in the group, you should go to the group's page, because that's where everything that's been posted in the group kind of lives. The news feed is just what's new, and it's just constantly changing.
Sort of just like your own page too, is that way.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why like a lot of people like say they want to see a family member's post, they can't necessarily rely on seeing it in their news feed. The best option would be to go up to the search bar and type their name and go to their profile to see what their latest post is.
Yeah, I've done that, yeah.
Carolyn, I have a question.
Yeah.
Something that I have not been able to figure out on Facebook is how my watch section is generated. It seems to not be related to anything that I'm connected to.
So that's interesting. So watch is a newer feature too, that probably a lot of people haven't explored too much yet, but it's basically these video clips. And it's all based on Facebook's idea of who you are, whether it's right or wrong. So typically they show you things that people in your demographic also want to see. So a terrible example, but I used to really enjoy the show Jersey Shore. Okay. And with all of the tan guys and girls, but on my watch lately, I've been getting I guess they had a reunion show. And so I've been getting all these videos of Jersey Shore. So I think, and you'll have to let me know if you ever see the watch videos, if it ties into anything that you've ever expressed interest in, because advertising is so interesting. They assume because you liked one thing that you'll like another thing, but they're constantly fine tooth the situation to try to get you to engage with their content longer. There's some great documentaries about this. There's one called Generation Like on PBS, and there's another one. But it's really fascinating.
Yeah, like one time, one of the videos was posted by someone who's in a group that I belong to. But other than that, like I have my Facebook open right now, and there's these two. One of them is she cheated and came home to this. And then the other one is from
Right.
Family Feud. Here's how to destroy your marriage with Family Feud. And it's just like, what is this? Like, this is nothing that I look at, or it's just so
Yeah.
I've always been like, where does this even come from?
So it's really fascinating. So I studied marketing, so I kind of studied this in college and stuff, and it's fascinating how painfully wrong they get it sometimes, right? Like you're not interested in that, but perhaps someone you know, in your age range, in your general demographic, maybe is interested in that. So they want to see if you're interested or not. So sometimes you'll see, not so much with Facebook, although you can tell them, don't show me stuff like this, that there is an option for that. But sometimes different sites will be like, do you like this? Give it a thumbs up if you like it. And then they'll do more of the same. Like I know Pandora and Spotify have you kind of approve or disapprove of songs as they come up.
Well, thank you so much, Kira.
Yeah, for sure.
I almost think it's important that new people to Facebook know that they are trying to get you to keep watching. And if there's stuff you don't want to click on, just, I mean, it sounds interesting. Well, try to find the A or the B in this square. They're trying to find out information from you. And the more you click on those and answer them, even though they're fun to do, you're getting hooked. You're getting hooked into something, and they're going to be sending you more stuff because of it. And if you
Yeah.
don't want that, you need to just not go on those sites.
Yeah, it's definitely a balance, because you're feeding them information about eh, even if it's not like identifiable information of like who you individually are, you're still giving them basically free market research. But that's why, like, if you stick to, because that can make it sound very very dark in a way, but like if you stick to connecting with people in real life, and like friends that live far away, and like it's also how you use the platform. And if you use it to connect with people, and pages and businesses that you do interact with, like if you are on Facebook and you're comfortable doing so, please engage with CPA, because that makes me happy. It helps me at my job. But I think if you stick to interacting with people and businesses that you'll be okay. It's just when you kind of stray off into strange land that you get in trouble. So, all right. Well, if no one has any other questions, I think we will call it a night. Thank you all for attending. Next month on July 22nd, the Tech Talk will be digital scrapbooking. And our Cleveland Foundation intern Zoe will be giving that presentation. So I hope you can attend, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Thank you
Have
very
a good
much.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.